Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to News with Nick. Today, we're going to talk about, again, state-sponsored or our government, episode number 2. I've been following this pretty close, and I talked to you about it the other day, and I said it could be one of two things because of complicity of it and how complex the whole issue is, and the fact they can't trace them back to where they come from, or at least that's what they say. So I say state-sponsored from one of our countries that we consider our enemies, and I don't use that word lightly because communist countries ain't our friends. The radical Muslim countries like Iran ain't our friends. They're our enemies. They're out to try and destroy us one way or another. Or is it our government? So I've been following this story about there being a lost nuke. And our government's flying drones looking for the nukes. My only problem with that discussion point is this. Why are they only flying at night? I say it again. Why are they only flying at night? I don't believe that. I don't believe the equipment we have flying that high off the ground is going to detect gamma radiation the way they say. Hard to say though, because I don't know all the equipment we have nowadays. But if there was a lost nuke from Ukraine in this country, it would be an all-out push 24 hours a day, so these drones wouldn't just be flying at night. Why is it over some airports and not other airports? Plus, the more I look into this, the more I find out that this has actually been going on for about 3 years. Not to the level that it is now, but the drones had been flying over and shutting down airports, military base airports, for about 3 years. And here's the ironic part, happens right around Christmas time every year, the last 3 years. Do your homework. Look it up. You're going to find out I ain't lying. So what's going on? I don't believe the lost nuke theory. Because I believe if there was a lost nuke, there would be an all-out effort 24 hours a day to find it. Distraction. That's another thing that comes to my mind. Distraction. Is our government trying to distract us from something? To get our eye off the ball so we can and get us focusing on something else so they can distract us. Because if you don't think the government don't do that, you're not being real with yourselves. Just going to tell you that straight up. You're not being real with yourselves. So, and you don't think they haven't distracted us in the past? They throw things in a news cycle, get us talking, get us distracted, and then boom, something else comes out. And then we'll be like, oh, well, I don't know where that came from. Of course you didn't. They had you distracted. Our government uses this media to its advantage. Instead of the media reporting to us, they use the media to distract us. And don't just believe me. Do your research. That's what I've done. I've done my research. They distract us. Now, I think in the future I might start putting in all the little things down in the bottom and corners showing you my resources. Once I get this a little more complex than the simple podcast is right now. But that's coming. But it's real. Why is the war in Ukraine with Ukraine and Russia so big right now? And why did our country not try and step in before it happened distraction. We're distracted on the war. We're distracted on the war with Hamas and Israel. We got a lot of distractions. The Chinese keep playing these more sophisticated war games off Taiwan. Distraction. But those games have been going on for years, so that's nothing new. Distraction. They want us distracted. They want us focused on what they want us focused on so they can sneak things through and in without us being aware until it's too late. But let's get back to the drones. They're a real problem. They claim, I love this, official sources within the government claim they got no way of tracking them back to where they're coming from. But they put off digital signatures. They have a frequency that they operate on. Is this a government-run program? Are they running some type of stealth technology so it can't be tracked towards base? They say they're coming off the coast somewhere. They use the word mothership. I love how they use that word, mothership. Could just be a fishing boat. Could be a cargo ship. Could be a submarine from another country in international waters, popping up, setting them up on top, and releasing them. But either way, how come we can't track their frequencies? How come they can dodge us when we start sending out surveillance drones or surveillance stuff to track where they're coming from? They're evasive. They elude us. We can't track them. And yes, the laws are a little lenient on drone flying because it's low level flying. They don't occupy the same airspace as airplanes, so they don't come under the same rules as airplanes. And because of that, I don't know. I still think, and I believe this with my heart, I still think we should shoot one of them down. And I'm not advocating for civilians to go shoot it down. I think our government should come in and shoot one down. But wait a minute. They don't know where it is. They don't know where they're coming from. They can't track them. But they say it's not a threat. That's the whole part of the story that clings to me, is when they say they don't know what it is. It's not a risk to public safety. They can't track them. Hey, but it's no risk to us. If you can't answer what they are and where they're coming from and who's doing it, then there's a risk. Bottom line, there's a risk. I'm telling you, I watch these live videos of the war going on in Ukraine and how Ukraine's using drones. And they got these kamikaze drones that just blow up things. They dive bomb and blow them up. Then they got these other ones they call, I'm going to use the word tornado, but I don't think they're tornado ones. They usually have a different name. Well, they'll hover over it and they'll shoot down a flame and burn out whatever's below them. And that's only what we're seeing on the internet. If Ukraine can do this, and ask yourself, where did Ukraine get this technology? Where did the Ukraine get this capability with their drones? Look within our own government. We're the ones funding that war. We're the ones giving them billions of dollars. We're the ones saying, we got your back, Ukraine. Don't know if I'm for that. Actually, I'm not for that. I don't think we should be sending billions of dollars to a country to fight a war that's not a NATO aligned country. We don't know all the details of this war. We only know what the news tells us. but the news don't always tell us is how the Ukrainian government treated certain people within their country. Go with it from there. Let's get back on the drones. I can get distracted sometimes. State sponsored or from our government can be only one of the other. And I'm telling you, I'm not leaning on state sponsored. Again, we know what state sponsored means, right? Enemies of our country. And again, I'm going to tell you why I believe wholeheartedly this is our government doing something sneaky around Christmas time. The last 3 years this has happened. This is just the first year where this many drone sightings have been noticed. And it's again over, they're closing down military airspace over Air Force bases again, just like they've done the last 3 years. What's this technology they're using, and what is it used for? And being ex-military, I do understand the secrecy behind it. Because if you tell everybody you're testing this technology, then you get in an uproar and it becomes a national security thing and the whole 9 yards. So part of me understands that, but why? Why can't they just say it's a government program, ask people not to worry about it? Are they spying on people? They could put cameras on there. They could put infrared on there. Are they spying on people? It's a good question. Too many what ifs. State sponsored or our government? I lean on our government. I don't trust our government anymore. That's coming from a guy retired for the Navy. I don't trust our government anymore. They're too secretive in everything, and they don't make things more out there so everybody's aware. Especially with this going on. This isn't just like one or two people spotted them and sighted them. This is many people across several states have spotted them. Again, this is the third Christmas in a row. Do your research. Look it up. You're going to find out I'm not lying to you. I'm giving you the truth. It's for real. Check it out. State sponsored or our government. This is News with Nick. I love you because Jesus loves me.